it feels pretty decent from the beginning as far as what an amateur track would be like anyways. Holy shit. Good God, bro. I mean, come on. It's too easy, baby. It's too easy. Too easy, bro. Like, come on, dogs. Get on my level. But anyways, by the way, that was like 10,000% on accident. I don't know how the hell I landed that. Like, I'm over acting like I got some skill and shit, but don't let me fool you. Don't let me do some tomfoolery here. Like, that was not skill at all. That was 110,000% luck. So sometimes it just works out that way, baby. But you can play it off like you meant to do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So either way, that was the literal definition of a sick thug nasty fatty right there if I've ever seen it. So, but yeah, I got a big ass huck right here. Don't know if I ever actually landed it without cracking my nutsack. Pretty sure I didn't, but whatever. I think you could probably huck that. It's kind of one of those, like, 1 in 50 chance that you're going to land it, jumping it all the way down all the rollers like that, you know what I'm saying? But just the fact that this track has a lot of bigger jumps on it, a lot of big jump fun factor, pretty wide open style track, it just doesn't even really feel like it needs the hardcore pre-made ruts. And that's what I've always been trying to say about the whole RF erode thing and the whole RF terrain deformation, all that kind of stuff. See, it's all about when you start running a road, what happens is all your different tracks start to feel the same. All your different tracks start to feel like they have the same rut design, same roughness designs. You don't get that variation, you know what I'm saying? Whereas with like whereas if you're going 100% pre-made, right, you can have your more flat track style tracks, more smooth tracks, more wide open tracks, more hard packed dirt tracks that's not going to rut up hardcore, or you can have your super rutty sand tracks, 5 ruts going into one corner, ruts going into other ruts going up jump faces, mud tracks with ruts going up jump faces, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. Or you can have like more deep style unadilla ruts. You know, you can really make that difference. Whereas like when you're just running a certain whatever kind of a road level, then you're just going to have whatever kind of a road level on whatever kind of track that is, whether it's a Southwick track or a Hangtown track or a more like a flat track and vibe amateur track. It don't matter what kind of track you're on. If you have a road on, it's going to build a road. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's you no longer have that sort of original variation of design. So I think this guy, B-Dog, making this track right here in a weird roundabout way, he actually made something cool, because even though it's made for a road, when you run it without a road, holy huck and a half, bro. Oh, god dang, dog. Oh, bro. That is an absolute monster huck and a half, but I do think you could hit it. Had I hit it a couple more times, I think I would have got it more down, but obviously this has the whole Washington vibe, got the whole Washington trees, kind of that Washougaly vibe, but definitely its own sort of feeling of a track for sure. I really like the on-track decal, kind of how that separates the whole track, and just the way he's designed the ruts. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you hopped on this track and had a road on this track, like you were on a 2019 RF actual pro track, almost can hook to that table right there. So many of these little tables, you can almost jump to the next table. I really think you can do it. I just didn't spend quite enough time on it to really get it down, but I do think you can hit some monster ass, jumping plumb over to another section type lines on this track. But what I was getting at though is, like, if you get on this track and put a road on it like you're on an RF Pro track, then this track would just turn into another road track that just feels like every other road track. You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't have any road on it, it has this really cool, badass, like more flat track and hard pack style track. See, you get all of those variations, dog. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at, B-Dog. You get all those little variations and shit when you pre-make something in a certain way. You get those hard pack flat tracks. You get the the super rutty tracks, the sand rut tracks. You can have certain tracks that have ruts going up the jump faces or not ruts going up the jump faces, only ruts in the corners. Or you could have tracks that have kickers on certain jump faces, or big weird ass, you get to pick where you want to put the roughness to balance certain lines out in the corners. Make the inside more rough than the outside, so it actually balances the line, versus just trying to hope to God that road can balance the track out for you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can literally make it exactly how you want to make it. I don't really know how it gets much much better than that. It really doesn't. When you talk about just purely pre-made, and like I say, this track was technically made for a road, but that's the whole thing. In a roundabout way, me not running a road on it is giving it its own unique, cool kind of little feeling to it, right? Just by the overall design of the track, it's giving it more like a hard pack, more like a amateur rutted track, that whole kind of vibe. And it's cool that way. It's fun that way, right? You get all different variations, man. That's the kicker when it comes to pre-made versus a road. There's just so many more of those like variables of balancing lines out, having inside ruts bigger than outside ruts, having certain ruts go into other ruts, having pre-made ruts going up jump faces, having certain roughness on certain sections and certain kickers on certain jumps and certain bigger berms in certain corners and certain bigger inside ruts mixed with roughness in other areas, and the whole 9.5, bro. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to even explain it. But that's the truth of it. But anyways, my whole fucking point here is basically, yeah, this is probably one of the best like made for a road custom tracks I've ever rode on in this game. This is basically one of the best like made for a road custom tracks that I've ever rode on an MX simulator right here. Just for whatever reason, just feels better than most of them. I don't know, the traction feels really cool on this track. Even though the off track's not like super complex, he got away with not really having to put that much out there, but just the way he did the whole mountainside objects and the skybox and that certain kind of tree look vibe, right? I think he's actually got two. Yeah, he's got two kind of trees, doesn't he? Unless I'm just kind of seeing that wrong. That may be only, yeah, I think that's only one kind of tree. I think just by the distance I'm seeing it from out here is making it look like there's different ones in the back than in the front, but I don't think that's actually the case. I think they're all the same. Let me check that for sure. But I mean, obviously the off track out here, like, just about as basic as you can get. There's pretty much no like official objects, so it is more of that basic bare bones. If you really went to the RVMX Cup, there's going to be fucking banners, billboards, vehicles, people, that whole vibe. This is kind of like if you went out to the RVMX Cup on a fucking Tuesday, club going up on a Tuesday, and nobody's even out there. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the vibe that it pushes. No. Is that a different tree? Yeah, it is. I think that's actually a different tree. It is, dude. I just thought I was seeing that from the distance, but that actually is a different tree. Like this one right here versus this one back here, they're similar but different. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all that matters. You just want it a little bit different, just to give that like forest out in the distance just a little bit of variation and not just look like the same exact tree over and over and over, So he's got a little bit of that, but pretty much everywhere else off of the track is just perfectly flat, right? So that's kind of what you got there, but I don't know, like I'm saying, some people get this idea that when I go in there and talk about like, oh, you need all this super hardcore pre-made ruts, super hardcore pre-made roughness on the RF tracks and all this kind of stuff. Well, when it comes to custom tracks, the only reason I say that about the RF actual pro national tracks is because that's how real life Lucas Oil pro motocross tracks are. They're hardcore, they're rough as shit, they're gnarly, like that's what they are, you know what I'm saying? But if you're wanting to go in there and literally dedicate a custom track to making a hard pack dry slick track, or like a really hard pack track that hasn't been rode on very much, or I have no problem with that. If you want to go in there and make your own kind of design, I'm not saying every track needs super hardcore pre-made ruts, super hardcore pre-made roughness. That's not what I'm saying, but that's precisely what I'm saying in the sense of you don't fuck around with the road, because then you can make whatever it is you're trying to make and you don't even have to worry about it changing over time. You know what I'm saying? You can make that super hardcore pre-made track, or you can make that super ruddy sand track, or you can make that super ruddy up the jump face mud track, or you can make the hard packed, hardly any rut track, flat tracking corner track, or have one corner that's flat tracking and another corner that's super ruddy. Holy shit, dude, that is a whip of a century right there. Like, god dang, dog. God dang. There ain't a lot of times I say that, but sometimes I just do some shit. It's like, good Lord Almighty. Spencer boy, You fucking getting too gnarly on them now, dog. Holy shit. I literally had that like backwards pancaked. How the fuck? Look at this. If you didn't know what was going on here, you would think I was going from left to right here. But I'm actually going from right to left. Holy shit. That is too insane, dude. Like, look at the... Oh my God. I'm literally completely backwards and pancaked at the same time. That is just too insane. Then brought it back around after all that. Good God. Like, wowzers, bro. I mean, good God. There's just no words for that, dude. Like, what the absolute hell? It looks even more sick in third person, I feel like. I mean, it looks sick in first, but like third person, holy crap, dog. Look at the rotation. And it wasn't even that big of a jump either. We're talking about like maybe an 85-foot tabletop jump here, a little standard-ass motocross tabletop. Every once in a while on MX Sim, you can just get that perfect slide, that perfect whip slide, you know what I'm saying, off of a jump face. Just absolutely throwing her out there like, good God, bro. Woo. Woo. Baby. That was awesome. That was sick. But either way, basically my whole point to the whole thing is with pre-made, you can just do so much more with it. Like I'm saying, you can make one corner 20% ruddy, another corner 50% ruddy, and then have the next corner a flat tracking corner to give you that variation within that one individual track, or have one kicker on one jump face and then the next jump face have like 2 ruts going down the middle and then no ruts anywhere else, and then the next jump face out of a corner, it's got like a rut coming out of a rut off the ground up the jump face. Erode does not do any of that shit in this game. I promise you, bro. It does not do any of that shit. You can't just have like one flat corner or a certain rut up a jump face in a certain particular spot that you pre-pick where it's at. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't get that like perfect where you make a rut come from the bottom of the ground up a jump face. Like literally you could stay in a rut from the ground corner all the way through the jump face. You can't really get that with the road in the game, man. And that's such a big aspect of real life motocross. Like it really is. But either way. Yeah, not a terrible track. Definitely could have been done more objects-wise, but decent. Definitely not too bad. If I was to run any erode on this track, it would be literally like the slightest of the most slight erode that you could possibly ever run with a road on any track. If I was to have to run, if you just forced me to run it, you know what I mean? That's what I would do on it. But yeah, I don't know, man. And see, then you get the confusion of like, when people start making tracks for a road, then it's like, well, did they mean for me to ride on this track without a road? Like, is that okay if I do that? Or is that not really how the track's supposed to be? Like, is it supposed to be an amateur, more chilled out ruts, chilled out roughness vibe? Or am I supposed to run super high road on it with a lot of people on it? Or what? You know, it kind of eliminates that track identity in a sense. There's no longer any track identity. It's like, what the fuck even is this track? Because it completely changes when you turn a road on with 40 people on it. Like, what even is this track? Nobody knows. You get on it in single player, it's like literally a totally different animal. And then you turn a road on, it's like turn a road on with 10 people on the track and it's this other thing. And then if you turn a road on with 40 people on the track, then it's a completely another thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no fucking identity to anything anymore. It's so weird. Like, it's just weird. That's the only way to explain the road and MX Sim, or what it does to tracks. Like, it does a whole weird vibe. And then it's hard to get those tracks that are dedicated, more hard-packed, smooth tracks, because then it's like, people think you just made it for a road, so then they turn a road on. You see what I'm saying? So then it's like, I don't know, dogs. It is a absolute mess and a half. But hopefully one day we can weed this bullshit out and save it for MXM 2, because it does not belong in this game. You know, if you want to make it for MX Simulator 2, by all means, go get you some. But there's no sense in trying to put it into a game that it was never even really made for. There's just literally no sense in that. Into a game that has no cush to the dirt, no softness to the dirt. You're going to have a fucking terrain deformation system and a rut system in a game. A rut-making overtime system in a game that has absolutely zero softness and cush to the dirt. There is no cushion to the dirt whatsoever. And you're going to have a terrain deformation system. How fucking stupid. can you be? I mean, I hate to be this fucking hard on you guys that are road advocates, but I swear to God, you're not even looking at it from a standard ass logical sense. Like you're not even thinking about what the hell you're actually doing. You're just you're oh my God, the ruts are changing over time on MX Simulator. It's so amazing. Like, dude, oh, look at that. Oh, it built a rut right there, bro. Oh, dog, let's just totally, completely fuck every other aspect of the game just to have one little changing rut over time, dude. No, nobody cares about the rest of the game. Just, that one little rut changed over time in that one race. Oh, dog, we got to have it. We don't care about single player. We don't care about the online racing. We don't care about any of that other shit. We don't care about track identity. We don't care about nothing. Nothing. It's just like, bruh, to the absolute maximum that you could possibly say that, bruh. See, now I can't even hardly do a goddamn track review. I mean, just think about this shit. Because now it's like, well, the track, when you don't have any erode on it, is going to be a certain difficulty, but if you have erode on it, and depending on exactly how many people you have on it with an exact amount of erode setting that I have absolutely no idea what you're going to run on it, then the difficulty can literally go from easy to Pastrana, 0 to 100 real quick, whole squad on that real shit. So I don't even know how to even rate these tracks anymore. I don't even know how to even say a difficulty. I can't even do it. I'm not even going to fucking do it. When I come in here and review these goddamn road tracks, I'm not even going to rate them. I'm not going to say a difficulty because I can't. You can't even do it. Like, what do you want me to do? Review the base version of the track with no erode and then give a rating and a thing when it's supposed to have a road, but I'm not running a road because I'm by myself. I'm playing in single player. Oh man, it's a son of a bitch if I've ever seen it. But either way, I mean, I like the track, man, B-Dog, I like it. It's sick ass how you got this big ass outside berm right here, and some of these sections are really cool. Some of these jump lines are really fun. It's a really fun jump whip training track and shit. But it's just like, man. It would have been 1,000 times better had you not even said it was an erode track. You understand what I'm saying? Had you not even went in there and said on the description of the track on the forums that it's an erode track, right? And just said, this is the track. You know what I'm saying? This is the amateur track. This is the track. If you're running any races on this track, you need a race on this track like it is. No erode. If it would have been like that, like the old days of MX Simulator, it would have been all straight. It would have been an awesome, like, amateur, quote-unquote, amateur rut track. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't even know if you meant for it to be like this, or if this is like how it's supposed to be on the lap 1 of the race, but not like that at the end of the race. I don't even fucking know. I don't even know. Because it feels pretty good like it is for an amateur track. But, like, if you start turning the road on, then it's no longer that thing anymore, right? So I can't even, like, I don't even know, dudes. Talking about confusing, talking about overcomplicate, talking about trying to reinvent the wheel for no fucking reason at all, talking about trying to, just absolutely construct a literal hoverboard versus trying to just put a wheel on something and run it. You know what I'm saying? The wheel works. Why are you trying so hard to make this hoverboard? And forcing people to ride on this hoverboard. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the hoverboard that's not even perfected to any degree. It's literally like a beta test. It's literally it's a project. It's a prototype. Literally, erode is a prototype hoverboard, whereas the original MX Simulator is a fucking Ferrari with wheels on it. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's really the difference in erode versus non-erode on MX Sim. That is the difference right there. Imagine a prototype hoverboard that's not been tested at all versus a Ferrari with legit race wheels on it and race tires. That's the difference. So if you was ever wondering, that's what's up, dog. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.